So I wanted to show you a little bit more about what it is to be a growth hacker as opposed to a marketer. Recently I met a friend of mine, this is his new platform, and we wanted to talk a little bit about how he could take this platform to the next level. So we went through the functionality, we spoke a little bit about what his plans were, and he really wants to kind of bring a marketing professional on board that can help him grow his platform. So I said, well, have you thought about like hacking the growth rather than being concerned about bringing a marketer in who may or may not be able to deliver on what it is you're looking for, and also you're not going to be in a position to know what he should be doing as opposed to what he is doing. So some of the things that would make this a good candidate for a growth hacking process is that it's a web-based product. My initial concern was that the company that he's working with advised him not to go with a native app on launch and to use a web app. The first thing that sprung to mind was that web apps are browser driven, and I'm not sure how many of you out there actually actively go onto your mobile phones, open the browser, and then type in the address to a website on the browser. So that was my first thing. The ease of access to the product isn't that good. We then had a look at the page here, and you can see quite a nondescript image here, and the narrative is not really explaining to you exactly what this is. Now, this platform is a social platform for people that are looking to find other roommates prior to the acceptance or searching for a room. So we go to the sign up, and the first thing I said was, wow, we've got a really long form here. Where is the sign in by Facebook? You know, Facebook will give you all of this detail and yet you don't have it. So he said, we are supposed to have it, and if I go back to the home page, sorry, this is the login page. So a little bit of a problem. If I go back to the home page, you can see here that we went through sign up and that it wasn't there, but when you go to login, the sign in with Facebook's there. So clearly that's been put into the wrong area, and we would really like that moved or duplicated so you can test from the back end through your analytics if the sign in through Facebook on the login page or a sign in through Facebook on the sign up page has more impact. So rather than just delete that off, I would leave the two of them side by side and just test over a period of 6 to 8 weeks or shorter, depending on how much traffic you're getting to this platform, how often people are clicking on either of those sign up forms. The next thing we sort of spoke about was virality of the platform here, and there's not a lot of information here, which is good sometimes, but not often the greatest. And we started to talk about is it a freemium model, and there is a freemium model. What actually happens is when you sign up, you are able to set up your profile a little bit like a dating style profile, so you can be very specific about your interests and the interests of the type of person that you'd ideally like to find to match to go into a property together. And one of the things that I said was, look, rather than again going to find a marketing person to put some content-based strategy together on social media, I said you really want to make this enabled to share within the platform, and the suggestion here was that rather than have someone upgrade for a fixed cost in the beginning, why not get people signed up, ask them to share to 5 other people, and when those 5 other profiles are completed, that person then gets a free 30 days of premium features, and that's kind of a good way to get some virality. And then My target market, if it was me, would be to go for students, because you would get that kind of virality between them when they're looking for properties pre-term. So that was kind of addressing the acquisition piece. The other part of this that I looked at was that I really liked was that if they could develop an API which would allow a platform such as Zoopla or one of the other major platforms, the name of the platform's gone now, Rightmove, sorry. If they enabled this for Rightmove or someone like that to sort of slide into their website, or even letting agents who are probably fulfilling these activities on behalf of dorm rooms or landlords that are, you know, professional student properties, letting specialists. So then what you would get is a opportunity to expand rapidly within a market that is mobile and constantly moving, enabling you to move faster to a monetization of this platform. And just sort of lastly, as I do need to go, the thing that also stands out here is the lack of emotive graphics and display. If this is about social finding of roommates, my suggestion would be to remove this really bland image here, change this content here and here, and maybe go full screen video of people in groups enjoying themselves with an overlay of a very specific find your ideal roommate socially. So everyone kind of knows from a visual, emotional perspective what this platform's about. These were all suggested to my friend, so hopefully he will go away and get the agency responsible for this platform to enable those changes, and we'll see some good growth within his platform. If anybody out there is thinking of starting an app or has an app and they're looking at how that they could go around improving virality, the access to new users, so that's sign up and registration, and you know, feel free to jump on and give me a call. It's Paul Sullivan Consulting on Instagram. My website is Paul Sullivan Marketing, and you can find me on Twitter at Marketing by PS, and I'm sure I'll be able to help you and give you some tips and some advice, and hopefully maybe we'll end up working together. So thanks for your quick 10 minutes. Hopefully this has given you a rudimentary understanding of what I'm doing around growth hacking, and if it's something you'd like to find out a little bit more about, find me on one of those channels. That's www.paulsullivanmarketing.com, and I'll hopefully speak to you soon. Thanks a lot.